Hello, anyone who's out there. Just getting cleaned up, ready to go. I'm gonna try to figure out if I can flip my camera so that you're not upside down. This is a new camera setup. I keep trying to get just the right setup, and so every week is a new adventure. There goes some stuff. So much stuff, so little time. Let's see. Hi, Kathy. How are you? How are you doing today? Let's see. There's quite a lot of adjustments on this camera. There are quite a lot, so which is good. It gives you the options. Sorry, I was holding something. Hi, Sabrina. How are you? All right. Now, how do I flip the camera so down is up and up is down for you guys? I feel like there's an adjustment on the computer. This is where my brain just sort of freezes up. Well, because I'm better with physical things rather than stuff on the computer, I'm going to see, can I turn this around? Oh, good. You took a break. You got to take a break now and then, right? I did some yesterday, but I didn't have a lot. I have a lot of open boxes, so I didn't have a lot that really needed to go quite yet. So let's see how we're going to do this. Where's my tech guy when I need him? We don't have access to that feature. I loosened it up and then it went away from me. Well, let's see. I have so many projects, of course, that I could work on. So many projects. I have stringing beads. I have junk journals. I have an altered book that I started. This is an old jewelry organizer that I have decided to use for stickers and labels and things for my junk journals, which is great. Just very helpful because you just accumulate a lot of stuff when you're doing junk journaling because everything is a opportunity. Another receipt I'll put away. Yeah, so I've been going to the bins. I've been twice in the last week to find more like craft supplies. And one thing I was really excited to find is black envelopes because they look really great in the junk journals. Hi, Mona. Well, that's what I'm just deciding. I am a crafter of many things, and so there's a lot of opportunities. I've been doing a lot of junk journaling. Let's see, my light is kind of bright. Doing a lot of junk journaling. And excuse me, I'm just trying to get my camera set up It's hard to do that ahead of time because you can't really see what's happening until we're on. But anywho, yeah, I'm still deciding. What to do. I can string beads. I can work on a lot of my paper projects. I could work on a show and tell. There's a lot of new things that I've just received. I have a lot of these plain old cards that I'm making into journal cards for the junk journals that I'm making. I think I might work on the spine for my altered book. I'm excited about that. But I also have this little album that I'm working on for myself for putting in. It's kind of a scrapbook, but it's mostly for my playing card collection that I've started. So I have some things here to still work on to embellish these pages, and then also sew in the signatures here. But I worked on this cover last week and went from cardboard to this collage paper. Well, thanks for joining us, Mona. I appreciate it. Just getting going today. So I am slow in the morning. And it's morning here. It's 10:30. So I was not quite organized when I turned on the camera. I love receiving postcards, by the way, or not postcards, business cards from people who, I watch or work with on YouTube. And if it's information that I already have or have access to, I can use those cards again for junk journaling. Back to your crafting, Mona. Tell me a little about you, Mona. I feel like I don't know you very well. Do you have a channel? Do you like to do crafts? Yes, you like to do crafts. You're a crafter. That's great because I've really been trying to get to know crafters, and maybe this angle isn't too bad, but I think I would prefer it flipped, like this being the bottom and this being the top for the viewer. I'm saying, let me know what you think about that. I'm always open to feedback. Because I know what I like, but it's not always what other people like. So, yeah, I'm just getting organized. The view's good? Oh, good. Thank you. Oh, coleslaw sandwich? Oh, okay. Mostly so. I have not gotten the sewing machine out yet since I've lived in this house, which has been about a year. I've just been busy with other things, but I intend to, especially for the junk journaling, because it's really fun. A lot of people like sew around the edges of their pages and give it some really neat accents. So I'd like to get on with that. Okay, let's see here. Maybe a little farther out. Yeah, again, I'm just working with my camera, getting it all set. Okay. Well, I have a bit of a blank canvas here now. Let's see. And I have a lot of these little tags. These are really fun too for junk journals to put, to either, decorate or put washi tape on it. and then put a little hanger and putting it in the junk journal. This is what I've worked on so far. I've made a couple of videos about my progress with this junk journal with what I'm making for my daughter. She is not 10 years old. She is 26, something like that now. But she did grow up loving 101 Dalmatians. And so I have a collection of little golden books. So I've been using some of them to make some journals. This is where I put a little card that said it was from me and that I loved her. I'm just noticing now the colors don't really coordinate, so I might have to do something to change that. And she's a math PhD student, so I added a lot of pages that you would use in academia just because that relates to her. This needs to be attached. So you'll see some kind of kitschy fun stuff. I haven't, not completely done with that. Some kind of vintagey looking things. Some cute little doodads. Some opportunities she can put in her own pictures and things like that. Some correspondence cards that she could use. You know, she could send this card to somebody, take it out, put a new one in, or just use it for storage, use it for journaling. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was, Mona, too. But what I've discovered, yeah, is that, you know, I mean, there's some people who like to write and journal and some people don't. What I like to do is a combination of things. I might jot down a few like special moments or things like that. I might put in things kind of like a scrapbook. I feel like it's a meld of a journal, of a scrapbook, of a little golden book, or whatever book you choose to use. This has the continual story in it. And also storage, like I said, with the, I haven't finished this yet, with the, like putting in correspondence cards and things like that. You might be like, I need to send so-and-so a card. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, I have a card in my junk journal that I can use for that. So that's what it is. And just also for the crafter, just kind of being creative. I love paper crafts. So here's an example where I put some like math kind of things here, not for any purpose other than just kind of aesthetics. And this is a kid's writing. So this just is specifically made for a person. There are people that make junk journals that they sell them on Etsy. That's not my intention at all. I'm not gonna do that. But I think that's cool for them. So again, just here's where I've used one of those envelopes. And then here, this is a card that my mom made. She made and sold quite a few of pieces of her artwork like this. And so this is one that I had left. And I thought I'd give it to my daughter and she could use that or keep it, keepsake kind of thing. Yeah, Mona, it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around it and decide that I needed to, that I could do it and it would make sense for me. Here's another card that she can use. I can't help feline in love with you. Isn't that cute? I haven't finished a lot of these pages, just showing it. Little vintage or antique, actually, postcard. I'm gonna put more of those black envelopes in it. I just think they look cool. It kind of brings out the black spots in the dogs, I think. There's a sticker that's not sticking that I need to glue in. Here's some little, you can take this out and write on it. So yeah, that's what I have. And then I have, yeah, I feel overwhelmed with projects right now. Here's some more cards that I made to go in there. This is, oh, here's what I was going to show you guys. I have an antique magazine made in 1897. See, this is where being right side up, upside down would be better. Because what I'm seeing, you know, is what you're seeing. So anyway, so I made color copies of a few of the pages. I started off on regular paper, which is what this is. Then I went to this essentially label paper, the Avery, just because I had it. And my printer's not that great. There's some funny lines, but this was just, you know, my first experiment with making copies of this magazine. Now, this particular magazine was the Delineator, Journal for Fashion, Culture, and Fine Arts. There, I can flip it so you can see better. And so they have some stories, so it's nice to have some text for your junk journals. And then this is the really fun part, the ads. So those can be used. And then, of course, the illustrations. The beautiful illustrations. Some of these I'll probably end up using, you know, cutting down, using parts of it. This ad, hilarious. And then the different Butterick patterns that you can buy for different dresses, children's dresses. Neat, right? So I have those. And I do intend, one thing I do intend to make and sell is junk journal kits with a variety of supplies that can get people started. Probably just like little envelopes of paper and ephemera that I can sell for $10, whatever. I'm going to put this in her junk journal also. A little Sudoku book I picked up at the bins. So yeah, I've been going to the bins quite a bit just to get those little odds and ends. It's probably adding to my overwhelm because it's, you know, a lot of stuff to look at. Here's a little booklet that I made just for fun. So we'll see if she likes it, you know. Who knows? Who knows? So, thanks. Decide. I did just get some new beads. I've been making bracelets to sell on my live sales. These are some faceted rhodonite, I believe, and gosh, I've already forgotten what this is. Gold obsidian. Gold obsidian. Which I thought would make great spacers in between the larger round beads. Okay, nice to meet you too, Mona. I really appreciate you popping in. Hope to get to know you even better as we go along. So I guess gosh, should I work on beads? Yeah, I'll work on some beads for a minute and then we'll maybe go to something else. Others that I had. make sure that the labradorite, or no, the Larimar that I got was matching this one. Make some more Larimar bracelets because they seem to be popular. And then I got this rhodonite, and this is some kind of jade. I think it's golden flower jade, I believe, if I'm remembering right. It just feels and looks really nice. I like it. So let's see here. Got some. I think this is a different. I think I got this from a different supplier. So I'm trying to keep it separate because they're slightly, different. They are natural stones, probably pulled from a different place in the mine. And then I have this amethyst. I could probably use if I use a lot of spacers. I think I had, this was a stretch bracelet I decided to disassemble. Love amethyst, very pretty. And then I have this lepidolite. I just have a few of those left. I'm not sure if I'm going to order more of those. I think I have a couple yet to sell. I'm definitely going to be just working on selling out of things before I start buying new things. I think this is black tourmaline. I'm trying to remember. And then more obsidian. The obsidian just has a little bit more texture, not quite as shiny as the tourmaline, if I'm remembering correctly. And then this is yellow fossil something or other. I thought this would be fun to mix with the gold. What did I say that was called? Gold something or other. Gold obsidian. And it looks like I have some malachite in here, some labradorite, some carnelian. This is a carnelian bracelet that I think I'm going to take apart that I made. Has gold-filled wire, but it's, did I decide it was too small, or I just wanted to remake it into stretch? Yeah, it's a little small. Hey, Marcy, how are you? How are you? How are you? What's happening? I'm just still getting warmed up. I'm good. I have a new setup for my camera, and I am gonna try to flip it if I can figure that out. I have this loosey-goosey stuff. Let's put that away. What are you up to today, Marcy? And by the way, how's the sound? I know for my lives, my sound picks up just fine on my computer, but then my videos, for some reason, it just doesn't pick up. I'm assuming since this is a live that it's fine. There are two sizes, 8mm, 6mm. Decisions are hard for me. Decisions. I think. Hi, Bonnie. How's it going today? Where are you? And can't see you. Is this it? This is the bottom. Boy, I'm having a moment. That's the bottom. This can't be. Oh, there we go. I was going to say this can't be the one I was using before. I don't remember it being impossible, but I guess it is. Let's see. Don't have a lot of these, but there's some. There's some. Let's try. Now, why? This first one I picked up, which was on the end of the string, is kind of messed up on the end, which is too bad. Find another bag to put these in. putting away the ones I'm not going to use. I have these little Thai silver beads here that are like kind of roughly faceted. They look very, I don't know, like just not consistent, and I kind of like that look. Irregular, that's the word. Irregular. So I thought I'd use those to make this labradorite 6mm bead bracelet. So as I've been doing more work with my hands, crafting, I have had a lot of stiffness and soreness in my hands, like I used to when I was working as an esthetician and using tweezers all day, every day. But yeah, it's really bad, especially in my thumbs. So I'm using some ointments and things like that. I also have come to the conclusion yet again that I do need to reduce my, I'll do 3 and 2, reduce my sugar intake because that adds to inflammation in the body. So these are a little tarnished, but that's okay. That looks good. I could try to brighten them up. Do I like this pattern? I have 22. I think I need more than that if I'm going to do the whole bracelet with these. If I did every other, so I think I used 25 beads for a bracelet. Let's see. If I line these up, no, I can line them up here. So usually 7 inches is what we do. Oh yeah, it's way more than 22, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. So if I, give or take, 30. Oh, and then if I spread these beads out, that's not going to be as many. Let's just try it. Let's do every other. Let's do a spacer in between each bead and see what happens. Sometimes, you know, math is too hard. Math and measurements. Oh, that's not going to work. It is, the hole is too irregularly shaped, so the elastic cord isn't going to go through that one. This one might also be, no, that worked. So here's every other. I could do different pattern. Oh, that one's thin too, or too narrow. Yeah, Caroline has really creative ideas. It's fun watching what our friends create. You know, there's a lot of great ideas out there, and everyone has their own style. which is really fun. Okay, this is too thin too. Well, see? Some of those I'm not going to be able to use. That one's too thin too. So those probably came off a necklace where I had used much thinner wire or stringing material. Because I did take these off of another. Oh, hold up. I do have some other pieces that I can disassemble that probably have some of those beads. Yes. Right here, this one. This one has those Thai silver bead spacers. These are some things that I've made in the past that didn't sell at my previous craft shows. I called them phony tails. There's another one. Okay, great. I have plenty of those little spacer beads. I'm just going to do what I call harvest from other projects. All right. Cool. Put these away. All these materials are, beads were new when I bought them. So I'm going to reuse them. My daughter has decided, the one that lives in LA, has decided she wants to start up a little crafting group. And so she wants me to send her a bunch of my supplies, jewelry making, especially because it's small and easy to ship. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. But what she wants, I have yet to identify. Because, she's just like, well, send me whatever. Yeah. Hi, Roy. Yes, it's me by myself. How are you? Most of the time when you have your lives, you're so entertaining and I just love listening to you. I just have you on in the background. I said to my partner yesterday, I'm like, I don't know why I don't buy comics but I like looking at them and I like hearing what everybody has to say about them. So, and I like Roy and I like his style and I don't know, I sit there and I watch. And listen mostly, and occasionally I have something goofy to say. But I just wondered if, I don't know. I don't want to be a stalker. I heard somebody say recently that it was sort of looked on negatively when other resellers kind of hang out in other resellers' shows and don't buy anything. And I just thought, why? What is the problem there? You're giving, yeah, it's entertaining. Of course, you're there to sell. I don't think anybody who's just hanging out is going to take away from that fact that you can sell things. I mean, I don't know what the negative side is to having people hang out in your sale, unless they're causing a bunch of distraction from your sale, but you're there to have fun too. I mean, why? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I've heard people mention that and I'm like, wow, I don't understand that. I appreciate people coming and hanging out in my sales, especially if they're chatting in the chat. I thought that helps with algorithms for your channel. Yeah, of course it's entertaining. I wish there were more cats though. more, have your cats make appearances. That I like. I think Kayla, was it Kayla? Is that her name? Kayla. In Florida, she had her cat, her very talkative cat, made an appearance. Yeah, some of these don't work for the diameter. Yeah, occasionally I do buy something. So, and other resellers do too. I guess maybe the negative is maybe they think that we're just there to kind of promote our own channels in their sale. Maybe that's the case with some people. I haven't experienced that. And that's certainly not my intention. My intention for I wouldn't be there and waste my time if all I wanted to do is promote my channel. And I'm certainly not going to come to a comic book sale and promote my channel because it's different stuff. But yeah. Okay, I think two more. One more. I think we can all agree we support each other, even if it's not necessarily purchasing something, and we're not. I like to believe most people are there with good intentions, and they're not there just to promote themselves. Exactly, Roy. That's how I started with YouTube. I started watching just to learn about different items that you might come across. Yeah, and because I had a bunch of things from my mom's collection that I really didn't know anything about. So that's what I started doing a couple of years ago, is watching YouTube sellers, mostly vintage and antique things. But I also, I think I mentioned to you, I've had my late husband had quite a lot of comic books that I didn't know much about, and I ended up selling them as a lot, and that was fine at the time. I needed to move them out of my house that I was selling, but yeah, it's about education, and honestly, too, especially during the height of the pandemic and isolation, it was definitely a good way to socialize too. There's the whole. I can't find it. It's too small, probably. Yeah. Some of these I probably used in these projects because they were so small they couldn't go on a cord like this. So yeah, the Thai silver is very irregularly shaped in the middle. These silver spacers, not very uniform. Yeah, pricing items, exactly. We need to know kind of what the market is, and yeah, I've learned a lot from my fellow resellers, and I appreciate them all, their experience. What am I doing? Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if this pattern's going to work. Might just have to be in every other thing. I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. Not loving it. I almost prefer my bracelets with no spacers. I was just going to try to add a little bit of metal to it, jazz it up, but I don't know. I wonder what other people like. We can try, like every third I could do one of these. Bright silver. Oh yeah, the holes are too small. Yep, that's not going to work. I could use oh yeah, these holes are too small for this too. So some things don't go on this jelly cord because the holes are too small. Let's just string them plain. It's faster too. And then people that wear them, you've probably seen me wear mine. You just kind of can layer them up. You can wear them with other. I don't have any jewelry on. That's unusual. Hi, Renee. Hi, Claudia. How are you? Hi, hi. Oh, yeah, your birthday. Your birthday month is May, right? Claudia, I wanted to let you know that you inspired me with your altered book project and prompts. Even though I haven't been following it every week, I'm aware of it. And I have recently started deconstructing an antique book that was kind of falling apart already. And I'm going to make that my first altered book. I'm just a little slow to it now that it's, almost the end of April. And you started at the beginning of the new year. Yeah, exactly. And, that's kind of why I do the lives and do my, sorry, I'm getting up to go get some jewelry. Started doing my videos in this crafty part of my channel is to, not only work on my crafts and sort of set aside a time for myself to do these things, but also to inspire other people to, use their creative sides, because it can be very, as you know, very therapeutic to do that. And we can all use some more therapy, right? Can all use some therapy. Okay, I'm back. We're all working on something. Yes, I would too, Apple. Hear that, Roy? Yeah. I've said it before. I think I think it's important to not just reject a whole kind of thing. Some people say they don't do crafts. Well, you do you, but also, have you even tried it? I don't know. Maybe you haven't tried the right craft, the one that connects with you. Or that you connect with. being open-minded, right? Being open-minded. Apple man with a glue gun. Let's see. Might be a little one too many. Just one too many. All right. Let's see here. Are you talking about a mini glue gun or a big glue gun? I know they have different sizes. Yeah, what would I make? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a rack for your comics, another display kind of thing. Yeah, what would I make? The one that is broken, I'm going to set aside. Let's count these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 26, 28, 30. $30. Okay, there's 2 left. Comic rack, that's adorable. Why? Yes, I said comic rack. Or comic book rack. My fingers don't want to work like they used to. Maybe I don't want to put it on there. How about this? I can just loop it. Loop-a-doop. Yeah, specifically with a glue gun, I don't know what I would suggest, but you could do, have you ever done fun things with your t-shirts, like upcycle? I know Apple does. She cuts them. I don't know if you dye them, tie them, that kind of stuff. Maybe you could have a crafting show too. By the way, thank you everybody for being here, even if you're just having me in the background. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, go ahead and give me a thumbs up for what it's worth. And gosh, I haven't even shared the video out on Instagram or anything, or not the video, the live out on Instagram. Self-promotion doesn't come naturally. I'm sure some of you can relate to. And then there's others that don't know what they're talking about. I mean, others that don't know what they're talking about if they don't admit. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. I said self-promotion is hard for me. It doesn't come naturally. And I guess my point is that for others it does. Or it appears so. Doesn't always mean it's true. All right. This. Well, the second one went a lot quicker since I'm not fussing with the spacers. I'm just going to double check this. Yep. Good. Made a few smaller ones, kind of special order. The ones that I make here, let me measure, are about 7 inches, which is a typical size that is comfortable for a lot of people. You can make smaller ones or bigger ones upon request. Oh, what's going on? Oh, you haven't been feeling well, Claudia? I'm sorry. Sorry, I missed that. I have been, I don't know if you missed earlier in the day or earlier in the show, the live when I started, I was talking about how, oh, it's stuck. I've been feeling a lot of inflammation in my body, a lot of body aches, and I really need to work on my diet with sugar. What kind of anklet are you looking for? Apple. I know you're Claudia, you're dealing with some stuff, and I know you. I've heard you talk about, I think, different dietary things that you do to help manage that, and I've heard all the same kinds of things about inflammation and things that we can do, but I just don't I tend to not do them because it takes a little effort and it's easier to just ignore it. But I definitely suffer from it. Okay. I like to put a little of this hypo cement jewelry glue on the knots to keep it from loosening up too soon. And it, so far, with all my bracelets that I've done, it hasn't yet to loosen up and fall apart. Simple. Okay, what is that? Okay, beads, gold chain, leather cord, faceted beads, smooth natural beads. Yeah, there's all kinds. All right, put those aside to dry. Candy and coffee. Gummies. Yeah, it does. Claudia. That's great, Claudia, that you have a partner in the fight, I guess. And when you can cook for more than one person too, it just feels like, I don't know, a team effort, I guess. All right, so let's do this with the fossil, yellow fossil agate, I think is what it's called. I want to get out a lot. I have a lot of hematite chips somewhere. These little hematite that is magnetic. Some hematite's not magnetic, but this, I believe, is. Need to get organized with my supply. Oh, I opened that because I was going to put these beads in it. Okay, let's see how these go. I had never had these faceted natural stone beads before. I thought I might mix them in with some of these round polished beads, see if I can add a little glitter. Thanks, Claudia, for coming by. I do have carnelian, hun. I have it right here, but it's kind of a large, I guess a 10 millimeter. Yeah. So it's a little chunky for anklet, but oh, I do have, this is also carnelian. I don't know if I have more of this. I think I do. This would make a cute anklet, just wire wrapped, gold filled wire. Well, I just thought I'd ask. I mean, unless you really want to make a special order, I just thought I would. Oh, yeah, this might not work. I just thought as I go through my beads, I could. Yep, this isn't going to work because I forgot. It's been a while since I was in the throes of jewelry making when I was making a lot for my craft shows and things. That the diameter of the hole is going to be there's some beads you can use for this cord and some beads you can't because the diameter of this is 1 millimeter and some of the holes are much smaller than that. So that's not going to work. Yeah, I really need to get into my supply. We can't have everything out all the time, right? Okay, let's just work on some stuff that I'm going to do. Maybe I want to mix this fossil agate with the rhodonite. So I like the pink. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to use up stuff that I have, and I'm pretty sure I have more of these carnelian beads. I have a whole organized box with natural stone beads somewhere. I need to get out. I think I know where it is. What do we have here? I think I have enough for another bracelet. Yeah, I do. All right, let's whip that out. We'll just keep it all the same. Keep it simple. Yeah, I know. There's no rush. I Gosh, I've been just wanting to get my things out and use them. Some days I honestly just don't feel like doing anything. It's frustrating to me to want to, I want to get things done, but yet physically I just don't feel like I can do it. I know part of it is managing my depression, and that's been a challenge. Oh, that's you today. You're just not feeling it. Yesterday was my mom's birthday. And we all know whose birthday was 2 days before that, or was the day before that. Another trip around the sun. Hey, Apple. That's the one I set aside and then quickly mixed it back in. The hole isn't consistent all the way through. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Wait, I thought I said I had enough for this. I'm short. Wish I could, if I had a reamer out, I have one somewhere else, then I could make that hole work. It's catching in there. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think that's long enough. That'll work. Yeah. Oh. Ah. Why is my hand not working? That'll work. See, I already made a couple for myself. And I made a couple of these for Heather Elizabeth because they have brown tones, which I know she likes. And I forget the properties of it's also fossil agate. So has some age. I forget the properties of it. Can't remember all of the things that I try to put in my head. Oh, did you? That's cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying my 2 rings that I got from Laura. I like this one. I like the spoon rings because they're a little thicker, instead of thin like this. Since I have kind of long fingers, they need it. This one is hard for me to get on. It's kind of in between sizes. It's too loose for this finger and then won't go easily over this knuckle. Actually, when I turn it, there, and then it fits comfortably there. Just that darn knuckle is so big. Okay. Kathy, yeah. Kathy, where are you? Google fingers. I'm gonna get this obsidian out and use it. Do I want to do pink and obsidian? So this jade. I don't know. I keep trying to combine them, but then I keep going back to just keeping it all the same on each bracelet. Oh, interesting. Thanks for looking that up. These feel nice. Oh, do these have a large enough hole? They look small. Oh no, that's a bummer. That is such a bummer. It's not going to work on the stretchy cord. You know what though? I have some. I really like this jelly cord. It's thick and nice. I do have some thinner stuff here that might work. And I did use this, like when I made this, you can see though it's a little bit like less robust than the jelly cord. And I feel more secure with the jelly cord, but this is thinner. So let's try that. And it's still strong. It's elastic string. It is 0.8 millimeter as opposed to 1 millimeter. And it just has a lot of like elastic fibers. So instead of it being like I think this is silicone cord. So let's try this. It's going to be, of course, oh, no, I don't think it's going to work. Still too big. Poop. 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 Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Let's see if I can find some of my baggies. Isn't that funny? I have to take my glasses off to see. Take them off to see. I was at the bins recently, got these baggies at the bins. Like, I don't understand people. I know people pass away and then people have to clean out their estate, and that's probably where a lot of things come from because they don't have a use for it. So why do they keep it? But when I find stuff like that, I'm like, oh my God. And it's practically free at the bins because they go by weight, and this is pretty light. So like, yeah, I'll take that home with me. I need it. My big hefty tape dispenser. I have to get back in here. Okay. Yeah, I've been finding, I go there to pick up craft supplies. I don't find things for resale there. But, oh my gosh, I did find, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I found an American Tourister, probably from the 60s or 70s, round suitcase in off-white. Really great shape. I think I paid $3.50, $4, something like that for it at the bins. Nice handle. The latch works. It's a great looking vintage piece. Just don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Right now it's with some other vintage suitcases that I have. Yeah, that is a good idea, Kathy. Crafts that I want to forget about probably because I put them in, put craft supplies in there and then probably forget they're in there because I can't see through it. Right, now where was I? So these, when they come on a plastic cord, they tend to have a larger diameter hole. Plus I'm kind of going to stick with the same supplier since I know that the beads have a thicker core. I can't remember where I got these, but obviously they need to have a much thinner, like a wire. Like I have this strung on a beading wire, but you need to use, you can't, it's not stretchy for one thing, so you need to use a clasp if you're making a bracelet, and you use crimp beads for it. All right, well, let's do this. Let's do the jade. And it looks like the holes are big enough. So, and I guess we can use this elastic cord. Yeah, I need to, I have some vintage suitcases used as risers. I have to check and see. I can't remember what I put in them. And it's only been, I don't know, less than a year. I have to check and see what's in them. Might be some vintage from my mom's place that I need to sell. I need to check. Let's get some darker colors in there. I want it mixed up a little bit more. So yeah, the round suitcases was kind of a neat find because I don't think you see those as often as the rectangular ones. So anyway, craft supplies, general things, paper, things like that I found at the bins. I used to be very overwhelmed with going to the bins, but I've gotten a little bit more adjusted to it. So I'm feeling a little more comfortable just around all the bodies. And people are still, you know, they don't pay attention to personal space in a place like that. They are just kind of digging, and they're not going to wait for you to get out of their way. They're just going to push their way in. And especially when it's a man, for some reason, it really find it offensive. The women tend to not do that, but the men, they just barrel their ways in. And I'm like, can you just go over there and wait? You know, I'm here. I'm in the space. You don't need to come in and reach around me. And like, especially if they start moving stuff that you're looking at and touching and just, or throw things on you. It's just so rude. It's hard to get used to that part, but I found some nice people there too. Oh, Kathy. One has glass from windows and picture frames. Wow, how creative. Oh, neat. Seashells. Oh. Yeah, I let go of a few suitcases from my parents' house. I didn't keep them. Could have, but only have so much space. But those old suitcases are pretty cool. They don't make them like that anymore. I have some old ones that a friend just gave me from her parents' estate a while back, probably 20 years ago. But they look like they're from the 30s or 40s, and they have like leather corners and kind of different textures on it, and kind of all neutral and browns, and I really think they're cool. So I have those stacked up. I was using those for containers for when I was doing craft shows with my jewelry. I would put my jewelry in there, and then I would use them for risers, and then I'd pack my stuff up in them. And so those were great for that. You can see this, this string is a little bit more, you know, has a little more movement than this, but I like it. I think it works for the 6mm. I think for like the 8mm beads that are larger, I definitely like this thicker cord. Yeah. Remember the old OJ commercials? He was jumping over the suitcases. All right, I didn't put socks on after my shower, and I'm really regretting it because now my feet are getting cold. I might have to pause and get some socks. Pause. I'm getting some socks. My hips hurt. Okay, coming back. Oh, look, I also have these. These are rose quartz. Let's see how many I have of these. I think I have enough for a bracelet there. if, yes, it goes through. Good. All right, now I need a sweater. I'm getting cold. Oh, you know what? I also can find at the bins, which is fun, is Scrabble tiles. I often have to dig to the bottom, but it's worth it. So I have a bunch of Scrabble tiles to work with now. Oh, I got this new sweater. I love it. Putting it on for the first time. Some of my old sweaters were just looking really ratty, so I needed to upgrade. So this one has the little thumb dealies, so that'll be nice for my walks. Whew, that is really getting cold. Okay. Yeah, don't really need to have this going on in my. Although it does keep my hands warm, which is good for the arthritis. Okay, I'll just leave it. So this is these are more beads that I had strung on a necklace, I think. So I took that apart and gonna make a bracelet. Some of these holes are pretty irregular, let's call it. So I have an appointment this afternoon after I see Noodle to see a dermatologist. I'd seen her once before, but she's going to zap a couple things on my face. They're not, they're benign. They're seborrheic keratosis, which basically runs in my family. Just little growths that happen when you get older. So I'm going to zap those. I kind of went back and forth about whether or not I cared enough to do it, to spend the money on it, basically. But I decided I'll do it this time. One in particular is kind of itchy and growing, and so it's just going to get bigger. If I zap it now, it can kind of keep it at bay. It doesn't mean it's necessarily going to go away completely, but it will reduce it at least. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, I have some of those too. The ones I have are fairly small. I thought she could zap those too, but I don't think they're worth. You have to go with what bugs you. So the one that's kind of itchy and growing, I definitely want to zap that. I see a bunny running outside. But he's really he's not being chased, but he's moving like he's being chased. At least I don't see anything chasing him. And usually I don't see him. Maybe it's because it's the, it's early. Usually I see him out later in the day. And maybe it's a little bit safer. Oh, there's another one. Maybe he was being chased by another bunny. Silly bunnies. All right, that's too small too. Maybe I won't have enough for this. So many of them have holes that are too small to have the thing go through. They do multiply right before my eyes. Yesterday was sort of warm. I don't know the exact temperature, but I was like, oh my gosh, are we coming into spring now finally? Like things have, I mean, it must have been getting warmer because the blossoms have been coming out, but like at least with the cherry blossoms and stuff, but I hadn't noticed like an actual warm day that wasn't also raining all day. So that helped my mood quite a bit yesterday, and today looks like another dry day, which is good. Need some dry days sometimes. So this, because I've used these beads before, I'm gonna probably just wear this myself. Has a little bit of like gray in some of the holes from the previous stringing cord that I had it on. Left a little residue in the beads that are, I suppose I could just soak them and wash them, but I didn't. Instead, I'll just let the new cord kind of rub it off. It'll go away. I don't think it's stained or anything. I think it's just a little bit of the cord that I used before. I also started a new diamond art piece. It's downstairs in the living room where I was working on it. Mercury in retrograde. Yes, I think that will work. Be nice to get one more on there to give it a little more room, but I don't think any of these are going to work. Let me try one more time. Oh, that one worked. Okay. Oh, yeah, you have your diamond art. You haven't started yet. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, that reminds me. That day that the lady next to me at the bins found the lucite candlesticks, I was picking up some candlesticks that were vintage in some boxes that were obviously from the same collection because they were in the same bins. I think they were from the same household. Anyway, the candles that I was picking up had the brand, and it was spelled EMKAY, and it just for some reason really cracked me up that it was like MK. That's like the brand. Okay. Maybe that's one too many. Let's see. Where is that going to fall? Boy, now I have these sleeves on. They're in the way. I think I'm going to take off that last bead. Boop. You're laughing at the MK. Wasn't enough joy to take away the despair that I had for not finding the lucite candlesticks 30 seconds before that lady found it. If I was in that space, I probably would have found them. But the way she looked at him, she was just like, kind of like, what is this? So I got the feeling she had no clue what it was. And my eyes got big, and I was like right next to her. And I was like, and she'd only picked up one. And I was like, oh, there's probably just one. But I was like, oh, I'd still grab those in my head, you know. And then she picked up the other one. I was like, oh, crap. There's two. And I looked, they weren't broken. They were like in great condition. I was like, oh, why? Wow. I know. Like, do you even find lucite candlesticks like at regular Goodwill? Or no, you don't. You don't. So I was imagining what those probably cost, you know, probably just like $1, something like that. Once they're weighed. And I did say to her as she put them in her cart, I was like, those are good. You know, and then I said, I'd keep an eye on your cart if I were you. Now, I don't know if she didn't speak English because she didn't say anything back, or she's just as antisocial, but you know, I wasn't going to have a long conversation with her. I just couldn't help myself by saying those are good, because like I said, she looked like she didn't know what the heck they were, but I'm sure she does now. She looked them up. So, I've made 5 bracelets. I could make another one out of this jade. See, the jade and the fossil are very close, but this is the fossil and this is the jade. I love the look of the jade. Where is the bag for the seed? Put it in here. I'll just throw it in there. Oh, I see it now, of course. Of course. Yeah, the jade's pretty. Maybe I'll get some green jade too. Probably could have gotten a size smaller in this jacket, but because the arms, the shoulders come down a little bit. I like them to be up. But then it would have been tighter around my middle. I like it. It's warm, but it's not bulky. Yeah. Yep, Apple. It happened very quickly for me. I was sad because it just doesn't look as good. Not all 925 is the same. And I kind of wonder, since these are silver plated also, the flatware, kind of how long they might last. But, you know, silverware generally lasts for quite a while. So maybe they use a different method or thicker plating. for silverware. I have a little higher hopes for the silverware ones. Spoon rings. This one is also, I think, silver plated, but it has lasted a lot longer than the other one, the moonstone one that I bought. And then there's this sterling silver, which has never turned. This is one of my mom's rings. And I don't think it will, because I think it's solid sterling silver as opposed to plated. It's hard. It's hard with jewelry. I knew that a while back when I was selling jewelry, making jewelry. There was something I read that said, you know, as a seller, you need to be really careful when you're buying wholesale. And it really matters where you're buying it from, because then you really have to know what you have when you go to sell it, so you're not misrepresenting it. And there's a difference between misrepresenting it and omitting information. So if somebody might not be deliberately misrepresenting it, but they're not educating themselves enough about what they're selling to, or maybe they're just forgetting what they purchased. So there's that. So you're gonna have to take a little responsibility when you're selling something, but still buyer beware, right? And that's okay. I'm talking about it, but I'm not holding it against any person, or we're all human. And in the grand scheme, it's not a big deal. They're not talking about thousands of dollars. Alrighty, almost done with this jade. And then I think I was gonna say I'd started another project, but I only have about a half an hour. That's okay. I can still start something else. I'm getting bored with this. That's a little long. I think that works. Boop. You can hear John downstairs on a call for work. We all know what rose quartz properties are, right? It attracts love. Let's find a bag. This is gold obsidian. What did I do with the gold obsidian? Oh, I put it in there. Look at that. I should have put it back in the bag that's marked for it. Yours aren't working. Yeah. It might be, though, a different kind of love that you're not maybe thinking about or relating to it. Like all the love that people show you here in the vintage community. I mean, I don't know anybody else who is more loved than you are. So there you go. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there now. Get in. Get in there. Get in there. The strings keep wanting to pop out. Get in there. Okay. Should probably write down what that is so I don't forget it. Right, that too. You know, I know. If you know, you know. Jade, what did I say? Golden flower. Flower jade. 6 millimeter. Sabrina knows. When you know, you know. All right, let's put the beads away for today. Here's some of that cord I was talking about. This is probably what the necklace that I took apart for the think, Leanne, what's the word for the rose quartz? I think I had rose quartz and like light blue colored crystals. You see that's much smaller diameter than the other thing. It's steel. It's nylon coated braided steel, 21 strands of steel. That is a strong beading material right there for beads. That's never going to break. That's what I used to use for my jewelry. Necklaces, bracelets. And I still have some. It was pretty pricey, as I recall. And that's what these are. That's what I used here. That same. So it makes for a nice little, if you loop this on something that you don't want to drop, like a phone, if you have a place to loop it, that was the thing when I was making these back in the day when there was Motorola flip phones and things. There was a little spot where you could loop this through. But as smartphones came in, there was no longer a little space. Now, sometimes on your case, like with this case, you can loop it through the part of the case. Like that. phone back in. And then, you know, so you don't drop it. You had a beeper. That's fun. So, you know, I could keep that on there if I wanted to. Probably at some point this will break if I put too much tension on it. But anywho, I have a bunch of those still left. I don't know if, like I said, I might just harvest the beads. This one's a little small for my hand, but they're just hanging out over here. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with them. All right. Oh yeah, I sold this. I need to put it with my sold stuff. Here's another thing that I got from the bins that I could not get. A bunch of, looked like an assortment of safety pins. And there's push pins in there too, but the thing is, I already have a bunch of safety pins. I think these are all big, but and there's small ones in here, which are nice for attaching things to junk journals. Attaching like little tags and stuff. And I like the little gold ones. But I gotta be careful at the bins because I want to save everything from the landfill. So I end up like, there was a container of Clorox wipes. It was opened, but it was mostly full. And I'm like, I can use this. I use it. I'm going to get this. And then once we kind of figured out like how much it weighed and like how much it would cost cost the same as buying a new one. And I don't know. We didn't get it, but I really struggled with that decision. Oh, it was really tough. And the time it takes for me to sit there and figure it out. Like, couldn't I be doing other things? Probably. I can't save everything. I wish more people would, though. I wish more people would find another use for something before you decide to toss it, or find somebody who can use it. But again, I know that takes time. That's what prevents people from doing it. But come on, like, let's use resources wisely and not just throw things away. It's people passing away too. I know we have a huge population that's aging, and there's just so much stuff. There's just not enough people for it all. But all the more reason, instead of buying new, buy used. Go to thrift stores, go to bins, go to all the places. Hey, Julie, how are you? Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, how's it going, Julie? I am here making some beaded bracelets, just simple stuff. Just yammering about things, and I've done a little bit of junk journaling on these shows. I was about to get out the junk journal I'm making for my daughter. And put these aside somewhere here. and see if I'm inspired to work on it. Sometimes I'm just not feeling it. Hey, I was going to ask you guys, do you remember this apple? Do you remember Return to Oz? It was a Disney movie where they kind of made a sequel, unofficial sequel of Wizard of Oz, 1985. And she came back to Oz and the people were all frozen, like statues. And she had a chicken. Bellina was the chicken. This kind of, I don't know, it's triggered a bunch of memories for me. She's wearing the ruby slippers that she had at the end of Wizard of Oz. And I think she ends up giving them to Ozma. This girl. Yeah, she puts them on Ozma and makes her like the Queen of Oz or whatever. It was I looked it up on Wikipedia. They call it a dark fantasy. Did Toto die? I don't know. It's a good question. But I was kind of excited to find this. And then I got this little golden book of cats. This is from 76, definitely from when I was a kid. That might have been reading stuff like this, looking at it at least. So this is going in my little golden book cat collection. And this one I had never heard of, but I sure like this cat. This one might end up being a junk journal. But the cat is hilarious. The cat is 1984. The cat pops up everywhere. The cat is like all up in everything. The cat's look at like the cat's like side-eye cat. Like, what? You don't know how to tie your shoes? What's the problem? Yeah, cat lady collection. Yeah, there you go. See, the cat's just everywhere. Julie, do you know how, or anybody out there know how I can flip my camera without physically flipping it? Like flip the image here because I want people to be able to see what I'm seeing rather than it being upside down. It is a stalker cat, totally. They need to rename this book the Stalker Cat. Yeah, do you know how to do that, Julie? I haven't figured it out yet on here. You don't remember it either, Julie? The Oz thing? Oh, by flipping the camera. And it's coming from here. I have it on a boom that I just got literally this morning. It came. It's up on my secretary desk here. So it's up here. And I'm trying to figure out how I can flip it. It booms out, but does it boom out enough for me to flip it? I don't know. And I don't want to do it now because how can I flip it? Yeah, that's the way to do it. Whenever I ask John about stuff and if it's something he doesn't know right away, he Googles it. I mean, my brain still doesn't work like that. Isn't that weird? Yeah, these sleeves are really long. Maybe I could have gotten a size smaller. Roy might know. That's right. Well, it's a webcam. So I'm not using my phone. I'm using a webcam that's hooked to my computer. me try loosen that. Yeah, this will work. This should work. Yes. That's easier than trying to flip the image on. It's a little stiff. Ugh, trying to move it. Feels like my joints. Yes. Success. Back it up a little bit. Oh, okay. You can see all the junk on my floor. We're just friends here, right? Don't have to be professional. Get a little closer. Okay. All right. It's just that I'm always doing like 20 projects. So, of course, I have stuff here that I need to deal with. Usually I do clean it all up, but it doesn't stay there for very long. But it's still messy. All right. What time is it? 12:30. Got to get the ribbon out of my coffee cup. I got a bunch of these. I paid $3 for these little made in China cameos. Excuse me. At a thrift store. I bought these. I thought, well, I could and they're cheap looking. I know they're not like high quality things that I'm going to sell. I'm not going to sell these, but it's something that I could add to my little journals. Julie, have you made junk journals before? Ta-da! You guys crack me up. Y'all crack me up. Let's see. So I'm just going to play with this. I mean, yeah, obviously you can make some cheap necklaces out of them. But I was going to craft with them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Somebody bought a dozen and used one. Probably. So I thought at first, oh, $3 is kind of a lot for these cheap things. And I might just use a couple of them. But it was my favorite animal benefit thrift store. So I tend to not worry too much about spending too much there. Yeah. Again, though, I struggle. It's like, I can use that. I can do stuff with that. But then, you can't get all the things. You can't have all the things because you get overwhelmed with the too many things. The more things you have, the more you have to manage. Just like people are like, I need a bigger house. Well, yes, that would be nice. But then the bigger house you have, the more space you have to clean, the more you can accumulate too much stuff, which can be a problem for some people. So, yeah. Yes, Kathy, you're so smart. Yes, I could paint it, probably make it look a little nicer. I can also use that. I have some stuff that can kind of distress it, make it look a little bit more, real, like oxidized you know, give it some age. Even the cameo itself is bothers me because there's too much space on this side. When they glued it down, they weren't careful. I could paint it with some metallic paint. But yeah, I could paint the whole thing like you were saying, Kathy. Oh, you need to downsize your hoard. Yeah, that's what it feels like, right? When you, I was talking about Scrabble tiles earlier that I found at the bins, Julie. I was thinking about you because remember we found those Scrabble tiles at the flea market, and I think the guy wanted like $10 for them or something. And I was like, maybe it was less than that, but I was still like, that's more than I want to spend. But here's the dealio. These particular Scrabble tiles are, hi, Erin. How are you, sweetie? Yes, that's right. Yeah, Erin, yes. That would look good from a paper clip or a pin. I got all these safety pins too in summer gold. Yes, that's a great idea. I guess one of these small ones are gold. Yeah, Erin, I know you have a good eye and you know how to use things too. Yeah, love it when you guys come and give me your input. I love that. Yeah, and since it's nice and lightweight, it's not going to add a ton of. Now, I'm not going to put it on this one, but I'm going to put it on the one for my other daughter, which is this one. And that's instantly what I thought of, the Haunted Mansion, just sort of old-fashioned kind of. I remember the scene where, in the ride, where they're dancing. Where is it? The ballroom. I think this is it, where they're dancing. It just kind of made me think of that. Yeah, so I'm going to make this into, I think I'm going to do a video when I start this one. Here's some of the fun stuff I have. I have like some lace doilies, some Day of the Dead. They're kind of like Halloween vibes. She loves Disney. She loves Haunted Mansion. Some lace. Her birthday is in October. She used to have like Halloween birthday parties. So yeah, just put a bunch of little antique Victorian kind of looking stickers. These I'm pretty sure I got at the bins. Got these little clips at the bins yesterday. I always find so many Halloween buckets at the bins. I've even found some vintage ones for my collection. This one is not. It does not look vintage, but I used it to put the Scrabble tiles in. And then I decided, well, I don't have anything else to put the Scrabble tiles in, so I better keep the bucket. So I'll add that to my collection. It's smaller than the others. So these are a little bit dyed from the box, you know, the kind of wine-colored purple box that they used to use for Scrabble back in the day. So at first I was like, oh, they're stained. I don't want them. But yeah, that's true. That's true. I can age them, Kathy. What have you been doing, Julie? Are you making much content for YouTube? I haven't seen any from you there. Yes, Shiny Bright Doggo loves the Halloween. I know. I've watched watched a bit and learned some from their videos and their thrifting adventures. I don't know what the deal is with the bottom of this, if it was supposed to have something attached. I don't know. Anyway, that makes a lot of noise. What else? What else? What do I want to do here? I added some ink. I was trying to make like little spots, like Dalmatian spots. But I'm probably going to add some more ink to this journal. Like here. Blood splatter. I don't have any daubers yet. I'm going to make some from cosmetic sponges. So for now, I've just been kind of doing this. Oh, the haunted house one. Yes. Thank you. That's a great idea. I don't love this. I was trying to incorporate some gold because I like the little golden book and just playing that up. I think I might either remove this, or if I can't remove it, I'll put something over it. Oh, yeah. Oh, furry splotches would be good on here too. Yeah. I put some paper in here that has texture like fur right here. And some other textures. So there's spots she can journal in. Do you guys know what belly bands are? At first I was like, what? What's a belly band? I guess this is a belly band where you put something there and then you can slide something in and it holds it. Kind of like her peeking out. Maddie and her partner Jessie have a black cat named Lil Dusty. What was I gonna put here? I think I was gonna put like a safety pin. Paw prints, yeah. I just got this at the bins, a little paw print punch. I'm also on the hunt for an old dog collar. There's a lot of pet stuff at the bins too, so I'm going to find an old dog collar that I can scrap up and maybe a tag or two, dog tag. This is a little something. I don't know if I'm going to keep it there or not. But that's where I like the mini binder clips for things like this. So I was happy to see these there. The bins, a couple blank pages. When I was putting this together and decorating it, my other daughter said, you should leave some pages blank. So I'm trying to, where was that gold trim page there? Let's see what other tape I have. I also have these Might not work in this journal, but they might work in Bridget's journal. These are kind of fun. We got some little fairies and ladies. I'm going to put the ladies and the mushrooms in Bridget's journal. So I'm going to set those aside so I remember. Right, back to the tape. Let's see. Need the thinner tape. Also got some washi tape at the bins. Oh, it's 1:45. That's okay. I can set this aside for next time. I have to go see Noodle. A dog food label. That's a great idea. Oh, thank you, Julie. This is my first one, so I'm learning as I go. This is kind of fun. This is an old 30-year-old address label from her. That was her dad's address in San Francisco. So I found that and a bunch of old, what you'd find in a desk drawer type of thing. And so I saved it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do that with this. So I'll probably put it on, piece of paper. I'll ink it up or, add some decoration. Maybe I'll put it on the back of one of these little things. Anyway, gotta go see Noodle. I'm supposed to see him in 15 minutes. So that's about how long it takes for me to drive over there. I let him out to go potty, and then I'm going to go to that dermatologist appointment and have the things on my face zapped off. So thanks for coming today. Thanks for dealing with me with my camera and giving me such great ideas and inspiring me. I appreciate it. And then I will see you out in the chats. If you don't already know, I have a show with Sabrina on Wednesdays, and we will be having Margie from Vintage Gems, Vintage Jewels, Gems, and Pearls. She's going to be our special guest tomorrow, and that is at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you will come by and say hi, and I'll catch you later. You guys have a great day. Bye.